Hello, my name is Justin. Today I'll show you the process of creating throws in UFE. Essentially, I'll take you through the throw creation guide from the documentation, but I'll also show you tech throws, Street Fighter 2 style throws, and throws with no opponent override or reaction moves. I'll be using all default animations and assets and one downloaded free animation, so everyone should be able to follow along. Essentially, we are just recreating Robot Kyle's throw, but I think this is a good way to learn how throws work in UFE and how you can implement them into your own projects. Before we start, just a quick disclaimer, I won't show you how to create and sync up the animations. If you want to use your own animations for this tutorial, you will need to know the timing of the confirm and the reaction animations for syncing. As I mentioned, I'm using Robot Kyle, but you can use your own character if you wish. Just make sure they have a throw collider assigned in the hitboxes and give it a good size to ensure good hit detection. If you are also using Robot Kyle, to prepare, go ahead and remove the 4 throw related moves already included. Throw attempt, throw confirm, throw reaction, and throw tech. We'll be recreating all of these in the tutorial. There are 3 moves required to make a throw: the attempt, the confirm, and the reaction. The attempt is the execution of the throw. This move will include the input required for the throw, and if the throw hit is successful, then it automatically triggers the confirm move. The confirm move is your character's throw animation. It will also have an opponent override component which forces the reaction move onto the opponent. Let's start by creating the throw attempt move. I'm creating a new folder in this project so it's easy to track. Create a new move file and name it my throw attempt so we can differentiate it from the default. Open it in the move editor and in the general panel name it my throw attempt. Open the animation panel, set the clip to throw attempt, add character prefab and click animation preview. We want to preview so we can judge when to assign the active frames. While scrubbing through the animation, see when you want your throw attempt to connect. I'm going to use this frame here. Open active frames, add a hit. Match the active frames to the animation. Then in hit confirm type, set that to throw. Add a hurt box, assign it to a body part, then resize and position it as appropriate. Notice the hurt box color is now orange instead of the normal blue. I'll switch the hit confirm type back to hit briefly so you can see the difference. I'm using follow bounds on y-axis to ensure the rectangle is always the height of the character. In hit conditions, we want standing and crouching only. Uncheck techable. Leave throw move confirm field for now. We'll need to come back to that after we create it. Open the input panel and assign an appropriate input for your throw. I'm going to use forward plus 3 since it's easy and I know Kyle doesn't use 3 for any of his moves. Street Fighter 4 uses light punch and light kick, or 1 and 4, but with the capture software running, it's harder for me to press that on the keyboard. Now, back to the moveset, we'll add the throw attempt move we just created to Kyle's moveset.
Round 1. Fight!
We'll test this quickly and you'll see the throw animates, but does not confirm. Now onto the throw confirm move. Create another new move file, name it my throw confirm. In the move editor, name it my throw confirm. In the animation panel, set the clip to throw confirm. Drag in the character prefab, and we'll preview the animation as well. I've set root motion here because the animation looks like I could use it. However, I also know that this actually won't work for this clip because it wasn't imported to handle root motion. Find a good frame to start a hit on. Then in active frames, create the first hit of the throw. Notice that the hit confirm type is hit and not throw. You only need to set the confirm type to throw for the execution, not for the actual hits during the throw. Here I want hit strength at medium. Default hit conditions are fine. We'll put the damage at 50 and the hit stun at 70. I know this value is more than the time between this hit and the next one. Then duplicate the hit for the ground slam part. In the new hit, slide the active frames to match up to the current frame. Correct the hurt box. I like using the root body part for hits that don't come from your character. I know the root is assigned to custom 1 on Kyle. I'll resize the rectangle so there's no chance of this hit missing. Hit conditions are fine. I want hit strength at heavy. Damage is okay for now. And I'll leave hit stun as well. Everything else here looks fine, so let's move on to opponent override. Add a new override, set the casting frame. I know these animations are in perfect sync, so opponent will start at 0. Set the move to position. We'll leave this at 0 because I want to show you what will happen if this isn't set to at least 1. Move speed to 100. To prevent default hit reactions, override hit animations. Reset all applied forces. Our animation animates the forces. Then stun the opponent for total time of animation plus the knockout. This will prevent the opponent from being able to execute commands during the throw. For default move, leave it blank. We'll come back to this later. Then add the move to Kyle's moveset. While here, open the attempt move. Now that we've created the confirm move, we'll add it to the throw move confirm field. Let's have a quick test. Without a reaction move, this should fail to work properly.
Round 1. Fight!
Notice that the throw animation happened, but the opponent didn't get hit. Also, there's an issue with that root motion I set earlier. Let's create the reaction move. Start by creating a new move file, call it myThrowReaction, open it in the move editor, name it myThrowReaction, then in the animation panel, set the clip to throw reaction. And that's it. No inputs, no active frames, no override. Everything else is set in the confirm move, so we don't need to worry about it here. You can add some self-applied forces, which we'll go through quickly later. I'll just do a quick check of the animation preview. This should be it, so let's see how the throw worked out for us.
Round 1. Fight!
Oh, looks like I forgot to add the reaction to the confirm's override.
Round 1. Fight!
Oh, and this time I forgot to add the reaction to the moveset.
Round 1. Fight!
Okay, so the throw did work, but some things are still missing. In the opponent override, move to position needs to be fixed to 1.
Round 1. Fight!
The confirm move's apply root motion needs to come off. I also accidentally set the reactions root motion as well, so I'll fix that here too. The animation is looping because the default wrap mode is loop, and we've set stun time for longer than the animation's length. So I'll set the wrap mode to once to fix this. I won't see this change until I restart the game.
Round 1. Fight!
It's starting to look good now. Since we can't use root motion, I can use self-applied forces to move the reaction. I'll speed this up as all I'm doing is looking for a good frame to apply the force to. Let's see how this looks.
Round 1. Fight!
Seems I've set the force in the wrong direction. Self-applied forces are relative, so we want a negative value if we want to go backwards. I think I want even more distance, so I'll make the force minus 40. The ground slam part is still using the default hit effects, so let's change that to something else. In the active frames of the confirm, for the ground slam hit, I'll set override hit effects. Leaving the particle effect field blank means no effect will trigger. While here, I'll also set the damage to 100 so we can easily distinguish the two hits.
Round 1. Fight!
Now you can see no hit effect on the ground impact, but the damage is still applied. I'll stop here for the fixes, but for your own implementation, I suggest applying more forces to the reaction to better align it with the confirm animation. Before moving on, I wanted to show you a neat preview feature. With Opponent Override, you can preview both the player and the opponent and scrub through both animations simultaneously. However, note that this is not an accurate representation of the position of each player, because the preview animation will play with root motion, but for both these moves we've actually turned that off. So use this mainly for syncing up animation timings and not for positioning. For the tech throw, I'm going to use the attempt animation and just play it in reverse. So duplicate the attempt move file, rename it to my throw tech, open it in the move editor, rename that to my throw tech, go to the animation, set the animation speed to -1 or maybe -0.75. I want it to be slower than the actual throw animation. Remove the active frames, then remove the input. Open the attempt move and in active frames, add the tech move into the tech field. And of course, add the tech move into the move set. Before I test, I know I'm going to have a hard time pressing forward +3 for both players, so I'll change the input for the throw to just 3.
Round 1. Fight!
You can see from the debug that both players are casting my throw tech. This works, so we'll add some applied forces to push both characters back. I'm adding 2 frames of forces as I want a longer distance but slower speed.
Round 1. Fight!
This animation looks a little wonky, but hopefully you can see that techs are pretty easy to implement. Throws in Street Fighter 2 have no startup animation and no whiff. If a throw doesn't come out, a normal attack does instead. Now we can't actually make a throw behave exactly like that, but we can fake it with a couple of tricks and get a pretty good approximation. So far, I've just copied the attempt move and renamed it to SF2 throw attempt and removed the animation. In player conditions, to get Street Fighter 2-like behavior, we want to execute only very close or closer, opponent in standing or crouching, and not blocking or stunned. And the input, of course, will be forward plus heavy punch. Duplicate the idle animation clip, move the copy to our folder, and rename it to SF2 throw. One thing to note, an animation clip needs to have at least 2 frames, an active frame and an end frame. Having less than this, for example 1 frame, causes some odd behavior. However, the move will still be a 1 frame throw though, as the active frame is the first one that appears when you execute the throw. To simulate this, I'll duplicate the idle animation in Unity and edit the copy to a few frames. This is a Unity specific step, so I won't go into too much detail. If you need help with this, post in the comments or on the forum and I can give you some guidance. Add the newly created animation clip. I've overcounted the frames required, so I'll adjust the speed until it's the number of frames I want. Set your active frames to 1 to 2. This is a 1 frame move. The 2 is exclusive. And I just noticed I can afford to speed up the animation even more, so I'll fix that now too. The active frames now looks more accurate. I'll remove text since we're simulating old Street Fighter 2, and the current confirm can stay. And lastly, we'll add this new attempt to the moveset.
Round 1. Fight!
Pay attention to the input display. You can see I'm pressing forward +2 and punches are coming out until I'm close enough. And even when close, if the opponent is jumping, I still perform a punch. Despite the conditions for the throw being so close, I still cannot combo into the throw because I set the conditions to only perform while the opponent is not in block or stun. Finally, it is possible to create a confirm move without requiring a reaction animation with it, but it's only possible if the confirm doesn't need a matching reaction animation. For example, if it's just a sequence of punches and kicks that is otherwise possible in UFE. Here, I'm just duplicating the confirm move I already made, renaming it to differentiate, and removing the opponent override. For the clip, what I've done is grab a combo animation online. This isn't included in UFE, but it is available for free from the Mixamo website. You could also use your own combo animation clip. To find this clip, just click on Animate, then filter by Free and Combat. When you download the animation, include the mesh as well. But you don't have to use the mesh in your game. When you import it, ensure the rig is set as a humanoid so it's compatible with Robot Kyle. Then in Animation tab, check all 3 Bake into Pose boxes and make sure they are all based upon original. In the project view, the animation will be inside the FBX. Back to the new confirm move, assign the new clip, preview to make sure it looks good on the character model. Adjust the active frames as you want them to happen during the move. Here, I'm removing the last one and I'll duplicate all hits from the first one. The first hit is at frame 180. I'll use circles for this. The second hit is about 210. I'll duplicate the first and adjust the frames accordingly. I'll also need to assign the hurt boxes to the other hands. Then lastly, third hit is about 241. I'll duplicate the previous hit. And I want to launch the character with this last hit. Final double check on everything just to make sure each hit stuns long enough until the next hit will connect. It looks like I've put the third hit above the second. This is okay, we can reorder with the new panel options tool. With that confusion out of the way, I'll adjust the stun values again. Now let's add this to the moveset and assign it in the throw attempt.
Round 1. Fight!
Okay, so the animation plays out, and it does play the whole way through and hit, but the opponent isn't restricted at the start. So let's go back in and add a first hit to ensure they stay stunned until that first uppercut comes in. We'll just add a hit to the first few frames. I'll make it a rectangle that's large enough to guarantee hitting the opponent. I'm also overriding the hit effects so the opponent just gets stunned without any effects. Set the stun to be long enough till the first uppercut. I'll remove damage too.
Round 1. Fight!
Okay, the first time missed somehow, but the second attempt works. I would suggest tweaking further from here to guarantee that first uppercut to hit. Now, I admit it's not the best throw, but this animation sequence was the easiest thing I could find that everyone else could try with, and I wanted to show you the potential of having a throw without a reaction. These types of throws are good not only because they don't need a reaction, but also because you don't need to worry about the mechanism versus legacy difference. And that's it for the throw tutorial. I hope you found this informative. I look forward to seeing awesome throws implemented in your UFE projects.